Hi, this is Sherry Veronica. Let's talk about Carl. Carl is 74 years old and someone has asked his permission to record his living arrangement, and he has said yes, and this reached social media. He wants a toilet because he is living in a place where he has no toilet, and what he is using to defecate in is falling apart. The person went into his home and it's falling apart. He wants you to repair his home. He has no water, he has no electricity, so obviously he's going to want you to pay for the water. He's going to want you to pay for his electricity. Now, I know that living in Barbados is a tough thing to do. I know it. I know that it sucks you dry. It just does. It sucks you dry. So I'm not going to pretend that it's not a struggle. But even within that gaze, even within what I've just said, I still feel that the last 100 years, when I look at, I usually concentrate on one place, and that tells all. If you look at one cell, it tells everything that's going on in the body, okay? When I look at the last 100 years, I see it as a waste. It's a wasted century. We did nothing as humans. We did nothing. All you got coming into this domain, all you got was technology. If all you have to show is tech, and if all you have to show is you made enough money to keep people poor and you have a whole lot of money in the bank, if all that is you have to show, you've lived in a wasted century. Wasted, it's lost, it's lost. We have done nothing. Humans have done nothing in terms of elevating their consciousness in the last 100 years. People 100 years ago, they cooked, they could mend, they could live better. They were living better, they were smarter, they can count and subtract, they can look at the building and see if it's straight or if it's kind of off kilter or whatever. They didn't need levels and everything that we have now. All we have now is technology. We have not grown in consciousness. We have not grown in empathy, compassion, cooperation. All of that is out the window. It was a wasted 100 years. If you're bringing children into the world, you're bringing children into a place that is a waste place. It's a wasteland, okay? Let's talk about Carl. Carl, in 74 years old, has this to show you. And this is probably politically motivated, okay? It's probably mostly more so for 100% sure. It's politically motivated, and they're going to focus on the B as in boy, BLP representative for Carl's area, and they're going to point at that person and say, see, look how they have Carl living. Nobody living any old way. You live the way your consciousness, you live the way your decisions took you. Whatever decision you have made has placed you where you are in life. Where you are in life, it's based on every decision you've ever made, okay? And if you're not making better decisions, if you're not trying to get information, that's a word I use almost constantly. I use it several times a day. Information. If you are not gathering enough information to take you forward, you're going to be the next Carl. You're going to be the next Carl. On video, talking about a dilapidated house, no bathroom facilities, no running water, no electricity, and you're going to be complaining and asking taxpayers to pay your bills and to repair your house. How is that a taxpayer problem? I thought that taxpayer money was supposed to do roads and the infrastructure, like, put up utility poles and, just keep things moving. Yeah, there could be a social security system that can be part of the taxpayer contributions, but to repair your house, to repair your car, are you serious? What did you do in 74 years? How productive were you or weren't you in 74 years that this is what you have to show? In 74 years on the earth. Yes, it was a wasted century. I've said that. It was a wasted, the last 100 years, wasted, pure BS. But what do you have to show within the BS? Like I have always said, there are nice places in hell you can live. They're nice places. You can secure a nice place and keep it clean and find something that you like to do and do it well. Find something you like to do and do it well, and money will come. Money will come. You don't have to be a multi-millionaire, billion. You don't have to, because those are the ones that keep people poor, because money is limited. There's only so much money in the world. And if one person has a whole lot of it, that person is making sure that poverty exists. You could do the math on that, right? Rich people ensure that there are poor people. Rich people make sure that poverty exists in the world. Because if rich people gave away their money, the poverty would be eradicated. There would be no such thing as poverty. There's poverty because money is limited, resources are limited, and if one person has a whole lot, they're taken away from the world. Do you understand that? Okay, so Carl has nothing to show for 74 years living, but he's living in a dystopian state. Barbados is a dystopia. Could look better than Belize and Dominica and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and which the other one, the other one that is signed on. What was the other country that is signed on for the free movement? Yeah, it could look better than those particular countries, but it's still a dystopia. It's still a dystopia. You don't see it because you rest comfortably in stuff. You just rest comfortably. You just have that knack to do that. But Barbados is a place that is hard to live in, to eat well in. You cannot eat well in Barbados. You fade. I don't know how you live to be 100 years old. I just don't understand it. But you do. You do. But it's a tough place to live. And Carl is there to show you how tough it is. But even in the toughness, you've got to rise to the occasion. You've got to show that, oh yeah, this is tough, but I'm gonna have a little space for myself that is comfortable, and it can be done. It can be done. Okay? You cannot expect taxpayers to pay your bills. You cannot expect that. You cannot expect them to repair your house. You cannot expect them to build you a toilet. What did you do for your 74 years? Were you out there running behind women? See, that's the thing. When people are young, they'll be doing a whole lot of running around and showing off and showing up and whatever. But then as they reach a certain age, you find that they are alone, and have nothing to show for all that running around, the cars they bought, the women they were trying to have more than one, and just playing the field. They have nothing to show in their old age. Nothing. Zero. This is zero. This is zero. This is a wasteland. But the last 100 years were wasted years. The last century, it was a wasted time. All you got to show was technology. You have not progressed in terms of consciousness. And that's a sad, sad state to be in. And we have this as an exhibit to show you. We have Barbados as a dystopian state to show you. We have the world as a wasteland to show you, with very few at the top who are hoarding all the money and keeping the world poor. This is what Carl came on to show you, but he said it in a different way. He's making it political, and he's going to make it seem as though, oh, the representative for this particular area in St. Peter, she's not doing her job, or whatever. No. It's a wasteland. It's a wasteland. Last 100 years, wasted. Get used to it. Get used to it. Just because you see some people have a nice home and a nice car, and they seem to be doing everything that, you may want to do, doesn't mean that they're happy. Does not mean that they're happy. Doesn't mean that their consciousness, is something that is worth talking about. It's not. It's not. They just made better decisions than you did, Carl. That's all it is. They made better decisions. They got certificates. They are good technicians or engineers. They are part of the mechanism that is keeping the tech going. That's all you got. That's all you got in the last 100 years. That's all you got. And technicians are there to run the place. They get jobs, and they make sure that everything is kept moving smoothly to keep everything going. But you are going to get poorer and poorer and poorer and poorer. They're going to pay Musk. Remember Elon Musk? His salary, they're thinking about giving him $1 trillion salary. Trillion. The world is going to get poor for that. Okay, it's a wasteland. It's a wasteland. And the last 100 years was a wasted century. This is Sherry Veronica.
Help me spread the word about Naked Departure via social media. Subscribe and share to show support and love for our channels.